Focus. What's focusing got to do with motivation anyways? Well, if you think of motivation like a bridge that gets you from here to there, focus is one of those pillars that holds up that bridge. So without focus, we really can't be properly motivated. And what we're talking about is proper focus, not just focus of this lazy way of thinking where you have several different thoughts going on at once, and you know how we are, we're multitaskers nowadays. So really, if you're trying to focus on something, you must properly focus on it. It's kind of like a laser beam that just goes straight towards one target and burns that one target out. That's how your focus needs to be. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today, on how you can focus directly towards something that not only will get you motivated to do it, but it will make it happen 10 times faster than it would before. Now this is going to be a two-part video series because focus is kind of a large subject as well. It's a little bit larger than some, and I don't want to give you just a little bit of it. I don't have time to give you all of it. If you want, you contact me, we'll go through it. But in these videos, you're going to see a good deal of it and get the basic building blocks of focus and motivation. You can take that and learn from there, or like I said, give me a call and we'll work on it together, and I'll get you there really quick. So what we're talking about today is controlling which side of focus you're on, because there are two sides of focus. You can, if you think about something that you have to do, or something that a project, or even just your general day you're going to go through. Let's say you're lying in bed in the morning. You can choose to focus on the negative side of it, or you can choose to focus on the positive side of it. What do I mean by that? Well, if you choose to focus on the negative side, what you're doing is you're focusing on, let's take for example, a story, a true story from one of my clients. This client had problems at work. They were trying to quit smoking, and their general life just seemed to be, they always had one of those days. And this person, he just couldn't get it right for some reason. And so we started working on just the focusing aspect, because after hearing him talk, I could hear him say how he knew it was going to be a bad day every day, and how he knew he couldn't quit smoking, and how he knew that all these other things, and his job wouldn't work, and all these other things. So what I did was help him to start focusing on the positive aspect of it. And before I go any further, I know some people say, well, yeah, you're looking at the positive stuff and you're just lying to yourself. No, you're not. You're choosing to look at the positive side. Why do we choose to look at the negative side and say that's the truth? Because truly, when you think in your head all the negative things that could happen, you always see the worst possible outcome. And really, how many times does the worst possible outcome really ever happen? Remember the turn of the millennium there in 2000? All the computers and everything were supposed to shut down. We were supposed to go into nuclear war and everything, because that was the worst possible outcome. How do you think the media gets such ratings? They always look at the worst possible outcome. A nuclear reactor goes down. Oh, the world could blow up. The world could be in radiation. And what happens? Not much. Remember the big oil spill in the Gulf? As it was a horrible incident, it wasn't as bad as the media originally reported. That, it's going to take 100 years to clean this up. Now you don't really hear much about it. But they had to report the worst possible outcome, because that's what people are attracted to. Call it maybe our dark side, but we want to get away from that dark side because it's hurting you. So back to our story with my client who was having such problems. Well, he decided to tackle a couple of things at the same time, which I usually don't recommend, but since he was already on his way and this is what he wanted to do, I said, well, okay, let's go for it. So he went after quitting smoking, turning his job around, and getting his daily life generally a little bit better. So we decided to say, you know what we're going to do, and I'm going to teach you this in the next program. I taught him how to do what I call the fantastic 15 minutes. Now, usually this is done like in the morning or the afternoon. You'll hear all about it on the next video recording, but we did that, and it helped him to focus on some of the positive aspects throughout the day. And sure enough, through about a month, when he decided that he wasn't going to focus on how hard smoking was, but how he decided to focus on how he wasn't a smoker and how he was healthy and how he was focusing on running and exercising and all the things he could do rather than focusing on all the things he can't do. The same thing works for people on diets. They always focus on what they can't eat. Why would you do that? You can't eat it anymore, so why focus on it? Focus on all the good things you can eat, all the things you can do now, all the things your body can do now that you're not shoving that crap into your body. Okay, you see the difference? When you focus on positive aspects, that's where your subconscious goes, and it helps your body to create that. Same thing with life. I keep mentioning this law of attraction if you listen to my videos. And the law of attraction basically states that you get what you put out. So you put out negative things and negative feelings and connotations, you're going to get that right back. That's why those days turn into those days, because you start out on a negative step and you never do anything to try and correct that. You just pile negative on top of negative on top of negative. The world sucks, everybody's after me, and you can't even, if you were in a beautiful setting, you wouldn't even be able to see that because you're so focused on the negative. So in the case of our client here, he turned himself around by, like I said, with the cigarettes and with his work, he decided to focus on everything that was positive about the job. And he started getting great reviews because obviously an employee that goes in who's positive and is always mentioning positive things is never going to, one, say anything that's taken the wrong way by the wrong people, right? Because you know how rumors go around at work. And he's also going to be in a positive state, going to be thinking more clearly, going to be thinking more positively about the company. He's going to be at work when he's at work, and he's going to be at home when he's at home. And the home life changed because he was thinking positively instead of always negatively, and negatively affecting others and their attitudes. So you can see how just focus can turn your motivation and everything else into just a positive aspect. We want to focus on good things and positive things. We're going to go more into detail in the next video, so hang in there and I'll see you then.